Hi y'all, APG Jamie here. And today brings that long-awaited update I've been talking about for probably a little over a month. I'm gonna guess. Anyway, hubby had started having the swelling that is typical for when you have liver cancer and other liver diseases, namely fatty liver, that turns into cirrhosis, that then turns into cancer because you've been on various chemos and medications for 20 plus years for blood cancer that they deemed went into remission. Hallelujah. And that enabled us to apply and go through the testing for liver transplant, which I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned that. Anyway, we were kind of going, if you do this, then you can do that. And we were told like 3 times that he was approved for the list, but we didn't get any actual notification that he made it on to the transplant list. And we finally did get that official letter that he was on the list, and he was having issues. So we ended up going down to MD Anderson, which is has been our cancer treating hospital all these 20 plus years. Anyways, he had, I can't pronounce the word properly. I'm sure I'm not going to pronounce the word properly, y'all. I'm not even going to try to say. It's where they go in and they remove the excess fluids that has been gathering in typically the belly region. I don't know if it goes anywhere else, y'all. I would lie because I don't know. Anyway, we were down there for three days, 3.5 days. And when he got out of the hospital, we got out, of course, in mid-morning, afternoon. Then the next morning he goes to work. And about 11, 12 o'clock that day, we got the phone call that a liver had become available. I know, super fast. It was on the list 5 days, 6 days. Let me explain why it was so fast, y'all, because it's not typical to be that fast. That is not typical. Okay. My hubby has AB positive blood. AB positive blood is rare. And an AB person can take O positive, I think any of the O's. They can take any blood, okay? Any blood works with AB. And the liver that became available was specifically from an AB person as well. We do not know the donor. They do not disclose this information. You probably don't want that information disclosed either. And anyway, that's why he was able to get a liver so quickly, is because he has the rare blood. Things went very well. We had the surgery. It was like a 9 to 12 hour surgery the first day. Then they kind of close them up, and then the next day they went back in to finish attaching bile ducts and all that, because they take your gallbladder out. You know, it's the liver is, I think, the largest organ outside your skin, y'all, because your skin's an organ. Anyway, they did an additional 4 to 5 hour surgery and got everything all attached up. He was in the ICU after surgery for 5 days, and he had the respirator, because you know when you're under surgery for that long, they need to make sure you're breathing properly, so they do all that for you. And once he got that out, then he was able to go on a liquid diet. Now, mind you, he had already been in the hospital 3 days before we went in for the transplant, so he'd already been, laid out and stuff. And he had lost 100 pounds over the last year, which is not totally unheard of for cancer people. And so we was in ICU for however long it was, and then we got moved to acute care. And I say we because I'm with him every step of the way. And we were in acute care for I don't know, y'all. Days and nights are kind of the same anymore. Anyway, we were there for quite some time, and he was able to sit up a little bit, but not really, because now he's lost a lot of muscle mass, and he wasn't even able to pick his own head up. I know and yeah, it was all very scary. But the liver transplant was doing very well. He really didn't have too many issues with that. Typically, the medications that they give you, because it's an anti-rejection thing for the entire rest of your life. Anyways, he had lost so much muscle mass, and because he had already been in the hospital for several days before we went in for the transplant. So now he's actually been down without moving around for probably 14 days. Probably. Anyway. So we got assigned over to rehab, but before we go there, he has to be able to do certain things to be able to get out of acute care. So we were there a little longer than what was expected because he wasn't able to motivate around. And then he started having blood pressure issues. And typically, that's what I started to say. Typically, the transplant meds make blood pressure go up, but his went down dangerously low. So we had to take medication to bring the blood pressure back up. And because without blood pressure, you can't get up because, you just kind of pass out. Anyway, once that got adjusted, he was able to get up. And that is still an issue, even though we have arrived back home. Hallelujah. He had to be able to do certain things to get out of the rehab wing over at the hospital. And we're still working on walking and getting up and down, all the things that we all take for granted, and some of us probably take more for granted than others. Anyway, he's still doing okay. Now, not long before the transplant, because we knew he'd lost a lot of weight and we knew he'd lost muscle mass, he had started doing some exercises with lightweight dumbbells, and his left shoulder had started hurting. So we kind of stopped doing that. I say this is all totally him. And so when we were in rehab, physical therapy, occupational therapy, all that stuff, his shoulder really got to hurting really bad because they thought it was rotator cuff, which would have been typical, from lifting the weights like that when you hadn't been doing it at all and you'd lost all the weight, blah, blah, blah. And the liver team went ahead and got him an x-ray on the shoulder so we could verify really what was going on with the shoulder. Maybe it was the wrong exercises, or who knows what. And they did find a mass. They found a mass, and it did show up on one of the prelim body scans, bone scans that they did for the prelim transplant approval, but it was light, or perhaps just a bad x-ray or whatever scan, whatever it was, y'all. So it was just kind of disregarded, which is okay, y'all. It's okay, because it wasn't detected before the transplant, so we were able to get the transplant. If it had been found before the transplant never would have happened, and things would be very bad right now for us, but they're not great. Don't misunderstand, they're not great. They're not great, but it's not worse. The liver cancer did metastasize, and that means when cancer breaks free of its initial position, it goes wherever it goes, and it like infects that area. In this case, it's his humerus bone, which is this long upper bone here at the shoulder, and it's considered stage 4 because it had metastasized from the liver. So it's actually liver cancer that is now in the shoulder, on the shoulder bone. They did do a biopsy, and so it is confirmed. The initial plan as of right now is radiation treatment because he's got the new liver, so he can't go on chemo. And he's already been fitted for I think they call them cages, where they lock you into a position, so that they can radiate just the specific area that they're targeting. And we are hoping to start that within the next few days. And the plan is to do, I don't know, 10 radiation treatments. It's uncertain if that's going to be every day or an every other day, or how it's going to work, because we do have the holidays coming up. And we do hope to get this accomplished this year, being how we have a change of insurance starting in January. That's always fun to have flip-floppy insurance. So anyway, that's kind of where we stand right now. Like I said, we're still doing we can't get the home nursing care and the physical therapy and the occupational therapy here at home because things are not quite scheduled, and we do have to go down 2 or 3 times a week to get the blood test for the liver transplant, so they can work out any kinks or changes in the anti-rejection meds and all the other meds, because he takes a handful of them now. We only thought he had a lot of medications before. Anyways, no, we have not asked for a prognosis. We do not want to ask for a prognosis. That's where they tell you a guesstimation of how long you have, because we believe that the radiation is going to work. It's going to finish knocking out the cancer, and we'll be cancer-free for a lot longer than 10 days, or however long we believed we were cancer-free. Yeah, it's been a big blow, but by the grace of God, we've been granted more time, and he's doing okay. And continued prayers are much appreciated. So, that's where we stand. And everything will be as it should be. Okay, since recording the previous, we have gotten the pathology report on the old liver. All the evidence of it shows that the cancer did not escape from the liver, so they don't know how it formed in his humerus bone like it did. So that's kind of in question. Anyway, still waiting on those radiation appointments and to add fuel to our fire, because when it rains at our house, it pours. Champ is not doing well at all either, so we have that. Okay, so I thought I'd come back. So as you already know, I'm sure you've already noticed, I hope you've already noticed, the filming schedule has been somewhat wonky, and it will probably be wonky for a while. Um, yeah, probably that. I am still going to try to do fourth art Saturday, and we're going to consider that an open collaboration challenge because it's going to be a bit different. And be on the lookout for that video on December 27, 28, one of those days. I still have to film it, y'all. Anyway, so, okay.